Movie Mavericks.
The Movie Mavericks Podcast.
Movie Mavericks, speaking of fucking long, uncut European cocks.
The Movie Mavericks Podcast.
Now for your hosts, Jason and Trevor.
I can't wait.
Hey now, everybody. Welcome to episode 302 of the Movie Mavericks Podcast. I'm Trevor Anderson. Since you have Jason Rugard, he's got a rundown for us.
On today's show, we'll be going over a little bit of trivia regarding the original Lethal Weapon, talking about actor Robert Davi, and also the re-release of Ollie, Fast and Furious, and the one-night performance of The Killing Joke. Get into that, as well as Suicide Squad's official rating, Warcraft breaking records in China, and J.K. Simmons getting ripped to play Commissioner Gordon. Reviews for Captain America 3, Money Monster, Nice Guys, Jungle Book, London Has Fallen, Zoolander 2, and Hail Caesar, and the trailers for Yoga Hosers, Captain Fantastic, Monster Truck, and Marauders. But first, like we always do, let's get into the trivia. You thought I was going to say the box office prediction game. We don't do that any longer. We get into trivia now. Got a little trivia here. I saw Shane Black's Nice Guys last night. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. But I was thinking about Black and doing some reading, and I was surprised to find out who was originally slated to direct Lethal Weapon. Do you know this question? Do you know the answer to this?
I don't know. No.
I mean, who could have done it besides Richard Donner, right? Because it's like such a Richard Donner type flick. I mean, he does it so gracefully, those kind of movies.
Yeah, at this point.
It was Leonard Nimoy, Spock himself. Is that not fucking
That would
bizarre?
have been interesting.
That to
was
me,
William Shatner going to be Riggs?
you don't know who was going to get in there. I mean, yeah, like you got Bones in there at one point. It's bizarre though, and I also read that Gibson was cast as Hamlet because of Lethal Weapon. That
could be true because they're very similar performances, actually. Really.
Yeah, kind of out there, the loose cannon. You know, no Danish
Yeah.
Prince there, obviously, in Lethal Weapon, but somewhat character breaking down and mad, if you will. Speaking of mad, let's get into this Robert Davi thing. Should we? Should we go on air about this?
Yeah.
I don't even know if this is real.
Oh, it seems real to me.
All right, it's as real as it gets, huh, in today's world. Okay, let's give a little background information on what's going on here. So I did a review for the Asylum's mockbuster Independence Day. And that's not Independence, it's Independent with apostrophe S on there. It's very strange, but it's a ripoff, obviously, of the forthcoming blockbuster. And in my review, I stated that I liked the direction that the Asylum was going in and not giving all their money to these faded stars like Carl Weathers and Robert Davi, and instead putting the money on screen because the special effects were way above most things that they have done, and going that route. And on the website, Moviemavericksepisode.com, there is a response from somebody purporting to be Robert Davi, where he really didn't like my disrespectful comments, as I'm quoting. And
Yeah.
I need to give Carl Weathers in his career a lot more respect. And apparently, my snotty little comment, as he said, didn't go over too
Yeah,
well.
that was the thing that got me, right? This snotty little comment. It's
Like I'm some little
seriously?
bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is this?
It wasn't even a snotty little comment. It wasn't even anything about anything. It was just that you had said that you liked the idea that they, instead of spending the money on stars, they spent it on special effects.
It's kind of blows my mind that Robert Davi is out there policing the internet like this. But hey, when you got a Fratelli after you got to be careful.
Between his singing career and his movie career, what else is he going to do?
The fucking Fratellis, man. I'm telling you. No, but that's Agent Johnson. Die Hard. You got to love Agent Johnson. No relation. And I do respect Robert Davi's career. I mean, let's be honest here. I'm a big fan of The Bad Pack, which I wrote in response to him. So if that is him out there. And Carl Weathers, anybody that knows me knows I'm an absolute Rocky fanatic. So Action Jackson or Hurricane Smith is okay in my book even.
Well, I mean, come on. The world isn't just, rainbows and roses here. Robert Davi's made some shitty movies. Like, I don't understand, why can't we talk about people in the full spectrum of life, right? Why is everyone getting so crazy about stuff? You certainly didn't say Robert Davi's a piece of crap.
Well, she's
you didn't
not.
say
I
anything.
like
No,
the
he's
guy
not.
quite
Yeah,
a
he's
bit,
very
yeah.
good. But that doesn't mean he hasn't been in. I mean, Bruce Willis is a huge star, right? Made some terrible fucking movies. Like, I think we should be able to talk about that kind of stuff. Like, why you
Samuel
don't need to go
Jackson as
police
well,
that kind of stuff. That too. Everyone's done it. There's no reason to be out there. I don't know. It's a bit much, I think.
Well, if he is listening out there, welcome to the podcast, and I am a fan of other works of yours, but your Asylum work has not been my favorite. So let's move on and talk about the death of Muhammad Ali this week. There was two fighters that died this week. Kimbo Slice, which people I might not have known was the web fighter who just recently died at 42, and Muhammad Ali, most importantly, last Friday. Michael Mann has said that they're going to re-release Ali in theaters this weekend. I checked at the cinema last night, and they didn't have any information about this, and that was a Cinemark Regal chain. So I don't know how wide this is going if on a Wednesday they're talking about having this. I don't know if it's going to be a one show on, or an actual release over the weekend.
Oh, it's probably going to be like a one-off thing, right?
Well, that's what they're doing with the Fast and Furious, and I'm a little bugged
Yeah.
by that. We were talking about that June 22nd re-release. I thought this was going to be an official re-release, maybe run for a week like they did with Ghostbusters, and it's going to be June
But none of these are
22nd,
running
one
for.
show.
Yeah, but what of these movies have ran for that long? None of them, right? A lot of these movies are playing a day or 2 days, and that's it that they're rerunning.
That bugs me though. It really does because a Sunday afternoon or a Wednesday
It's
evening is
crowded
not
out
an
there.
ideal.
It's crowded, and people aren't going to go see these old movies.
I mean, you say it's crowded, but then
So-
again, I go to the movies at 10:45 in the weekday, and there's nobody in the fucking theater on anything I see. And you know what I mean? It's so they could sacrifice at least one screen of, whatever it may be. They don't need Turtles on 5 screens.
Well, but they booked that, so I'm sorry.
I know. And now with this, the uncompetitive clause that's there, where theaters can book, competing theaters in a local market now can book the same movie. There's no, back when I was working in a theater, and I'm sure you did the same thing, you knew about if one theater had it in town, a movie, the other theater in the town had a different movie because they couldn't show the same thing. They didn't want to cut the audience. That's now out the window for antitrust acts. So I don't know. I would really like to see Fast and Furious in the D box, and I'm upset that's not going to happen. That's why I'm bitching.
Well, I'm gonna go. I definitely still want to go see it on the big screen.
They do have a nice, commemorative poster. Have you seen this? The hand-drawn, kind of sketched one?
No.
It's like the original poster, but it's a little bit more. It's almost like
Did you just break out the crayons and draw your own one?
Yeah, exactly. I got my tracing paper out, a bit of coal.
Yeah.
Did well. And The Killing Joke, this rated R animated Batman film focused by Mark Hamill and Kevin Conway, which is getting a lot of press, is going to have a one-night release on Friday night, June 10th. So if you want to see that on the big screen, I can't see why anyone would want to go out and see on the big screen.
Well, yeah, especially because those are so hit and miss. Like some of those are really terrible, and some of them are really great. I don't know that I would want to roll the dice on that being bad.
Exactly. I mean, I thought that the year one was fantastic and Red Hood and things like that, but some of them are almost unwatchable,
Yeah.
I wish they would go back and do that year two, follow with that one, because that was a good one. Well, since we're talking about Batman and Commissioner Gordon, let's talk about J.K. Simmons. Did you see this picture that went viral of him working out?
I did, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to be Miles Teller, right?
Can we get into why this is so fucking ridiculously unnecessary for one reason?
Is he going to be walking around with like his shirt off and stuff? I mean,
he better be at this point. He better get in the fucking muscle shirt. I mean,
it's not Commissioner Gordon hasn't always kind of been like a fat guy. Like, hasn't he always been, but they're like wearing clothes and like full on clothes, right?
That's why this is great.
Like,
There's no
up.
reason to get ripped for this role. I mean, it's preposterous. And to get ripped to that, I mean, he looks like a fucking Civil War general with that beard as well. I don't know what he's doing, but he looks mad on top of it.
But Commissioner Gordon has had a beard, so.
On different incarnations, but
Right.
I mean, my favorite incarnation of him has been Gary Oldman's. I thought he did the perfect kind of world-weary, in Batman Begins at least, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
I really fell for his character there, but this is so outlandish on why this is even happening, and that he's been cast in this role, and he feels he needs to bulk up for it, unless there's been some sort of photoshopping, which doesn't look like it. It does look like it's him all snooey and everything, but it's just so over the top.
I don't know, man.
I mean, what's next? Sandler getting ripped to play Fletch? I mean, what's going on here?
Possibly. I mean, Commissioner Gordon now has a superpower of being able to throw symbols through people's heads.
That's the movie to
flings
get
them.
yoked for. I mean, why do it for this one? Honestly, like
Yeah, that way you
would
can
be
really, you can really
physically
pound
intimidating.
Miles Teller, slap
That's a
that
different
kid
movie.
upside the head. Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
too
the one
tough.
I tried to rent, but
Let's talk about Suicide Squad. A lot of uproar this week that this is getting an official PG-13 rating, and my one response to that is, did you think it was ever going to be rated R? Come on.
there was a chance though. I mean, to be fair, but yeah, you're right. I never really thought it would be rated R, and I don't think it needs to be. Again, to be fair, I mean, PG-13 has. It's the fake rating. It always has been. It's been the rating that allowed teenagers to basically watch rated R movies.
It's a cop
Right?
out.
Let's be honest. It's a soft R, is what it is.
You know what's amazing is when you go back and look though pre PG-13, things from like 84, in that era. I was watching Sheena. Don't ask me why. Queen of the Jungle. It was
we know
on.
why.
And there's so much nudity in that movie for a PG rating. They get away with a lot of it because it's like what I call the National Geographic rule, where they can show like indigenous people of different countries naked running around, like like African villages, and like that's somehow okay. But like if Tanya Roberts hits her out,
if it's not sexualized, I think that's really what.
well, she was pretty goddamn sexual, and even in the Beastmaster, it's like that level of nudity. You know what I mean? For a PG movie, you're like, my goodness, there's tits and ass in this all over the place. No wonder I loved going to the movies when I was a kid. It was enthralling.
Oh yeah, back then, but nobody cared. But as always, right? Whenever you look to the past, and then inevitably things are going along, and that happens, and then people have to make up fucking rules because they get upset.
Which is what happened. I mean,
that's why you don't want to live in the future, because the laws and the rules in the future are going to be insane.
I don't want to use the free shells.
You're not going to be able to do shit. Yeah, you don't know how to use the seashells. Yeah, okay. Nobody knows. How the fuck do you use those?
You've been fined 1 credit for swearing, mister.
Oh, damn it.
Well, over in China, they have a record-breaking Wednesday and Thursday at the box office here. Warcraft, which is being eyed as somewhat of a domestic failure here in the U.S. even before it's launched. They're seeing soft opening and tracking awareness for it. It is huge in China, and this is really no surprise considering that Legendary Pictures, which is backed by Wanda, that whole group back over there, which has like 20% of all screens they own in China, so their own theaters. But this is breaking records. $92 million
but that's all
US
actual
in 2 days.
China, though. Yeah, but Warcraft is very Asian, and then along when you look at like games like StarCraft and things, also they get played over there. They love these big old games like this.
Yeah, I guess World of Warcraft is still huge over there.
The multiplayer, whatever the hell, massive multiplayer online games?
Role-playing games?
Role-playing games, yeah. These types of games, I don't know why I can't remember what the hell it's called. MMORPGs, there you go. Massively multiplayer online role-playing games. I don't know. These are big over there in Asia, so it makes sense. I don't think this is going to be so big over here.
No, but if it makes $500 million just in Asia alone, which it's eyeing to do, it might make $1 billion worldwide, even if it tanks here. That'll be.
But that money's going to be hard to get out of China. So
first $1 billion gross for a movie that doesn't make $100 million in the United States could be unbelievable, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break and come back with our reviews for 6 new films.
Check out the Blueprint Review podcast at blueprintreview.co.uk. This could be interesting because I know we've got some very diverse. I'm going to be arguing with Darren a lot.
I think it's going to be me v you lot with maybe Laura sat in the middle.
To be honest, I think it's about expectation.
Yeah.
Like, I think.
Yeah, I expected it to.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
I think we should talk with English accents.
I think I want to kick you in the nuts. You kicked me in my nuts.
We sound a little smarter, don't we?
I watched 2 little English boys when I was in Hawaii in line for a store. 2 brothers, and one little brother kicked the other one right in the balls. And he looks at the mom and goes, he kicked me in me nuts. I died laughing. The mom gave me the dirtiest look, but it was funny as shit. Anyways, let's get back on track here and talk reviews. I saw Captain America finally, and you didn't get a chance to talk about it on air, but I got to agree with you and say that it was excellent. It really was. Right?
It was so as compared to like other big movies, it's an excellent movie.
It was masterfully done for a movie that's a lumbering 2 hours and 20 minutes typically, but it moved pretty fucking well for being so.
It did, and it's really good, and you watch it and everything. But is it any different? Is it a standout movie to me? I mean, you asked me, is this better? Is this your favorite movie of the Marvel movies of the Avengers stuff? And it's like, I don't know. Can you even have one anymore? It's just all episodic shit, right? It just gets pumped out. Like this doesn't particularly stand head and shoulders above anything else. It's all kind of just lumped together to me, really, when I think about it.
That would be its biggest criticism. I mean, the fact that
would be the only thing you could really say about it. It
says the same thing over and over. Just what the last Avengers movie was saying.
Still fun. Yeah, and Avengers, to be fair, is kind of the one that you were always going to think because it was the first, and it was, it's hard to see now, but it was different at the time.
It was the
came
harmony
out.
too of them all getting together. There wasn't this infighting and bickering and choosing sides and shit like that either.
But they did handle that pretty well in this one as well, especially with the comedy, right? I mean, when the second act big fight happens, it's so funny and so fun. They really make these two groups of superheroes fighting each other a fun time.
Yeah, and that's the inclusion of Spider-Man, and that really well cast
Ant-Man,
there.
I mean, Paul Rudd's, everyone on this is just like the comedians. They're finally using them, I thought, and like you say, the Spider-Man kid, who's perfect for Spider-Man, don't you think?
And even Black Panther makes a good impression in this. I think that was nicely done. He didn't need his own movie for a setup. I think that you can tell the backstory in this and get us already running.
Perfect. That's what we need. That's what we want, right? That's what I want to start seeing.
I don't want a 2-hour backstory movie. Let's already get it up and running so that when his movie comes out, you have it, already set in place for an adventure to take place, not him discovering the power.
Well, they explained everything so well throughout that, just in little pieces, and I now know his backstory, right? Or enough to be able to say, okay, show me a movie now.
Yeah, really well done. I gave it a really one of my highest ratings there, but the only thing I could probably say was that it just the arguments in it. I feel like I've heard these same arguments between these characters for 3 movies now. I'm ready for them to get on with it or get over it. I saw Money Monster as well.
You were the one.
I was the one. It was 2 of us there. Yeah, but we were the pair in the movie. That was for sure. And this thing has stayed out. It's still playing. I don't know how it stayed out for so long. And this is
in the second run theaters now, I believe.
It's not a bad movie, but it's not memorable really in any sort of fashion. This is the kind of movie that Clooney's been doing for a long time. Just like I can't even think of the name of it right now, but the one he did with Ryan Gosling, where he was the senator.
You know
what I'm talking about? The March of St. Ides or something like that.
Exactly. We're good.
Yeah, exactly.
The Ides of March. Yeah.
Ides of March or something like that. And it's the same type of mid-level Michael Clayton type.
I was going to say, he
throwback
like
to
those.
the 70s. And this is not really that particularly well directed. Jodie Foster gets a credit, but she doesn't do anything special here. Julia Roberts is good. Nick Clooney's okay. The guy who plays the hijacker has the best role in the movie. But this is your typical network meets Dog Day Afternoon, and all the preordained stops are made. And there's really one surprising scene in the whole fucking movie when the guy's wife gets on camera and talks to him. And that's really the only surprising scene. And that has to be the reason that this was on the blacklist, because this was one of the most liked screenplays of that year, unproduced screenplays. So I don't really know what the impetus of making this was, but it wasn't great. So what's up with Hail Caesar? I've yet to watch this yet. I want to see it.
Yeah, well, I guess since we're talking about George Clooney,
right? Yeah, we're on that Clooney kick.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. I did like it, but there's so much going on here. And I have to admit, I was a little asleep. I was falling asleep when I was watching it. Not
you were stoned. Don't lie.
No. Either way, if you watch this stoned, you're probably gonna be fucking not be able to follow it either. But it's
what else is new?
It's a little over my head sometimes, but it's. I mean, I don't know. I want you to watch it so we can, or at least help me dissect it a little bit. It has something to do with God and the Bible, and all these characters are kind of like characters out of the Bible in a way, and it's really weird. And it mentions that, it mixes everything together. It's weird.
Well, it's very esoteric. It looked like their whole Coen Brothers catalog is getting like that.
Than normal. Yeah. I don't know. Like it was hard to follow a little bit for me. As for not the movie's easy to follow, but I mean,
it looks beautiful.
What they were trying to do, if they were trying to do anything, right? It's that kind of a weirdness.
So maybe it requires a second viewing, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I care enough.
Well, their movies are so strange in the moment that sometimes I don't even recognize them. The other day I put on the television and it was Big Lebowski, but I didn't even recognize the sequence or it was the part at the end where they were throwing the girl in the air on the beach. Which is just some random thing that they're doing for no reason. The girl's floating through the air, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I realized it was Lebowski. But and I've seen that hundreds of times. There's shots in their movies that sometimes you're like, what is this doing in here? What is this supposed to say?
It's much weirder than that, even, I think. It's just a weird movie.
Well,
I don't know the point.
What about London Has Fallen? Because I've been waiting to watch this one. I've been putting it off. I liked Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah.
You'll
love this. You don't have to be in a mood for this. I mean, it's just nonsense. It's completely silly and stupid, and there's no fun. You know, problem with the first one is, again, it loses the fun. It's too serious, and this one's twice as serious. But the same shit's happening over again, and like no one really like could you imagine this happening again? I mean, and then just everyone's just like, well, another day at the office. You know, it's like, what the fuck is going on? And why, the main character, this Gerard Butler character, is like he's just like, I'm the nicest guy in the world. You know, I jog with the president. I do amazing things. I'm just a nice guy, And put him in this movie, and he's just fucking killing. He's like, oh, I gotta kill people. Fuck it, gotta do it. I'm a terrible, horrible person. Fuck them. Who cares? It's like, what's going on?
Well, that was the problem with the first one.
Why is he
that
so terrible?
It was so serious. And White House Down was a lot funner.
I liked the White House Down because it's a stupid plot thing. It has to be fun if you're going to do this.
Right.
And I thought this movie was even more serious than the first one. I mean, compounding on the fact that it's happening again.
We'll get used to it because they're coming out with another one, man. This thing made like $200 million worldwide. This thing was a huge moneymaker on the little budget it had.
I mean, the only reason for that is because of who made it, but if this was a real studio, we wouldn't see a third one.
Yeah, Millennium and Lionsgate need something to kick around.
That's what I'm saying.
They need to keep them on.
There's a reason they're making a third one. But yeah, I mean, I didn't like it. Well, it's an action movie, right? So I did like it, but I didn't. It was a stupid movie.
Yeah, it was forgettable is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, it hurts you a little bit when you watch shit and you're just like, why? You're ruining my life right now.
Give me back those 90 minutes, you fuck. I saw Jungle Book, and did I tell you about this? I loved it.
No, but it looks good. I mean,
I don't know if I texted you or not.
Everyone said it was excellent.
It was good, man. It's tells a good story. It just happens to be done with fucking CGI animals that are so photorealistic at this point that it's and the voices behind it between Gary Shandling, Bill Murray, Ben Kingsley. I know it's not novelty anymore to use facial expressions from the actors in the CGI, but you could really tell that's Bill Murray and that bear. With the droopy eyes and kind of the mannerisms and whatnot. Just really well done. Idris Elba, obviously Scarlett Johansson is the snake, and everybody just fits their role. And it's got a lot of nice visual references too. When they go visit the Monkey King, and it's Christopher Walken, and he's talking about pain. It's got like this kind of Godfather-esque mafia moment, but yet he's rubbing his head. And he's in shadow like Kurtz in The Apocalypse Now, like how they filmed Brando. And it's really nicely done how they did some of this stuff, and the references to other movies for the adults in the audience. But even from just the kid point of view, I don't see how you couldn't love it. It's basically like an Indiana Jones type movie. It's a straight action adventure that really never stops, with a story that's totally understandable. I mean, every character, even the bad guy, is motivated. I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, yeah, the bad guy would be motivated for that. I mean, that's why the tiger hates humans, And it makes sense dramatically. And I don't remember any other version being this well done. They usually focus on like the Tarzan aspect of the boy getting given over to the humans and how they're going to readapt into society and all that kind of shit, which was totally not in this at all. It's very
So John Favreau is proving himself yet again. He's kind of, I mean, he reminds me of a Christopher Columbus type. Like, he's really good at movies like that. Big adventure, fun, inviting you in, like come along for the ride type movies.
He should really, I mean, I don't know, because he's with Disney and Marvel and all that. He's already done the superhero thing, but it'd be great to see him do the next Batman movie with Affleck.
I don't know. I think he's too.
Let him direct that.
I don't know, man. I think he's too on the opposite side. He's the intro guy. That's why he was so good for the Iron Man stuff, introducing us into the Marvel world. Just like Christopher Columbus introduced us to the Harry Potter world. He's kind of, to me, he's the guy that's welcoming you into a world. And I don't know that Batman is a world that you get welcomed into, is it?
Nah, he sets the table pretty nicely and makes things really comfortable, like you were saying. He would have done the modern day Home Alone if it was out there.
Yeah.
So what's up with Zoolander 2? I got halfway through it before my internet conked out on me, and I passed out, to be honest. And
well, you're pretty lucky.
I laughed a few times, so it wasn't.
Really?
I was setting myself up. I was setting myself up
a few times. Did you?
Movie that you were talking about, and I didn't think it was that bad. You despised it. It sounded like.
It's just dumb. There's no reason to have made this movie. They weren't prepared in any way to make a Zoolander 2. This is like Anchorman 2 to me. Like they just made it to make it, And can we stop? I swear to God, the next time they do this, I'm gonna find them and kill them. Like, can we stop taking the characters and then beating the shit out of them in the first 5 minutes of the movie and then saying, here's your hero. You know, oh, this is my hero? The guy you just shit all over and beat the fuck out of and killed his wife and he's a complete fucking moron. And he knows it.
They keep doing that in comedies. Obviously, they did that in Anchorman. They did that in Paul Blart. They did that.
I'm really getting tired of it. Like, let's just pick it up where it left off and move on with our lives. Like, otherwise, you don't have a point to make this movie. Do it with a different character. You're not making Zoolander 2. You're trying to make a Zoolander reboot. When you do that, stop doing it. It's fucking annoying. What's the point of it? But yeah, I just thought they really made. They went too far with these characters. Like, these guys they're not cute stupid like they were in the first one. They're really just fucking stupid, you know, and stupid to the point where it's just rude to them. Like, I don't know, why does everyone want to shit on their characters lately?
Well, these characters I didn't mind because, I mean, I thought it was pretty funny that the building fell down by itself because it was built, you know, popsicle sticks and
that
things
is
like
funny.
that. I mean,
but when you kill the wife, when you do all this other shit,
well, I
like,
thought
why?
the neglecting the son was a little much. I mean,
that was
super
terrible.
Yeah,
right. I mean, he looks like a complete asshole even when he finds the kid. He looks like a total douche, and the kid's just like. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, fuck you guys, you're stupid. And it's like, yeah, no shit. Like, I'm with the kid. I'm with the fat kid. You guys are fucking dumb. I don't know. I didn't like it
before I give you my full review on it here. But you're obviously telling people to stay away from it. But you didn't like the first one. I don't remember.
I love the first one.
I thought you didn't care for the first one.
No, I love the first one.
Okay, so you're saying this is worse than Anchorman 2?
It's on par with that. It's completely. I'm going to write this off and pretend like it doesn't exist, just like I did Anchorman 2.
Anchorman 2 was insultingly bad, I thought, because the fact of that
Anchorman 2 is worse than this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that this I watched all of this, and like you say, you laugh a few times. Sure, of course, you know. I think these guys are funny. I just don't like what they did with the characters. I don't know. I really the first Zoolander. I mean, and maybe this is, you know, again the 9/11, you know, line in the sand here, right? First Zoolander pre 9/11 is very cute and nice, and this is not. This is very mean and just mean spirited.
It's darker. Story wise, it's much darker.
Yeah, I don't agree that we need to do this.
I saw The Nice Guys, and I was mildly disappointed in this movie, and I'll tell you why. Because you and I are Shane Black really aficionados. We love this guy's work, and or most of it, I should say. We were really both let down by Iron Man 3, and I texted you when I came out of it, and I said this is a pretty good movie, but it's not great, and that in itself is disheartening. Because you said to me, oh, it looks like the high point then would be his Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And I 100% agree now. That it looks like that's the high point of his comeback, is that initial script. And that this movie felt like a really strangely discarded afterthought for his other movies. I mean, it's got all the Shane Black kind of hallmarks. You know, you got the detectives, you got the sleazy underworld, you porn mixed into it. I mean, even the beginning when the girl dies, this car goes off the road. It's well shot, that sequence. When that sequence came on, I thought this is going to be a great movie because the really hot chick dying, laying there. I thought this is almost an homage to Lethal Weapon 1, where the girl is laying there on top of the car. You know what I mean? Like the way she was laying and the same body type and everything. But then it just kind of meanders, and I don't know what everybody was talking about, this great chemistry between these two. I thought Russell Crowe was really, really miscast. Gosling has a knack for some light physical comedy, but Crowe and him aren't particularly the best pairing. And
they don't even like visually look good together.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
and
what I
Russell
was worried
Crowe
about.
said that he put on all this weight for this movie, and he looks like fucking Marlon Brando. He looks like he doesn't give a shit. So I don't understand.
Let's just be honest. Russell Crowe just put on some weight. It wasn't for this movie.
Well, I've seen him in
He just
interviews,
put
and
on
he
some weight.
has since gone down from this. But he looks huge in this movie, and really just not. And story wise, it gets really convoluted for no reason. Kim Basinger gets thrown in as like this, you know, this maybe duplicitous kind of senatorial person, and I don't know. It just went nowhere. And you're watching it, and you're like, yep, that's going to be thrown in for this. That's going to be there. The nice thing is that on a few occasions, the movie takes a left when you expect it to take a right, but often than not, this is really just recycled from his other movies. And I was disappointed in it. There's no need for a sequel or any of that kind of shit. This is a total one-off.
No.
Maybe as a series, this could have worked, like an HBO series or like a nighttime series, but as a movie, it's pretty... Put like this, neither of these guys are likable. It was the whole point, but Gosling's character is really kind of likable, and Crowe's character is totally unlikable. So you don't give a shit what happens the whole
Nice.
time. Yeah. I don't know.
That's unfortunate.
All right, let's talk about streaming online pick. You got anything you want to recommend?
Yeah, The Do-Over.
The
Did you see that?
No, I haven't yet. So I was going to hold my
We'll wait
review.
till next time.
Yeah. Okay. So you are recommending The Do-Over.
If you like Adam Sandler movies, then yes, I thought it was good. If this has come out in theaters, I'd say wait for it. But since this is just straight Netflix streaming, yeah, it's fine.
Then don't wait for it. It's right there.
It's right there. Watch
Better
it.
than The Ridiculous Six, then, huh? Because I couldn't even get through that. I got it.
Yeah, I didn't make that one either. But yeah, way better than that.
Okay. All right, well, that's Trevor's pick. Mine is going to be the documentary Citizen 4, Edward Snowden documentary on HBO. It's pretty disheartening to watch that and realize what's going on with the NSA and the collecting of information and data and what they can do. So give that a look, especially because I want to see that Snowden movie coming out. And I saw that trailer last night. And I kept thinking, why is he talking like Ashton Kutcher? And the guy actually talks like that in real life. So
well, I'm sure. I'm sure he's actually talking like him.
It's strange to hear that in that impersonation that he's doing.
I know it doesn't. They shouldn't have done that. They should have just made him just speak normally. Like we don't need that.
My last rant is that I've been to the movies quite a bit recently, and I keep seeing the trailer for Free State of Jones. Who the fuck is gonna go see that movie?
I don't even know what that
is going to bump. That Matthew McConaughey Civil War uprising movie. STX has advertised the shit out of that.
Haven't they already made a couple of these? Daniel Craig made one, right? That was very similar.
Well, his was a World War II era one, but yeah, Defiance, and that was Edward Zwick. Much better pedigree behind that, and looked better, and was most likely better. But this thing is being advertised like it's going to be some sort of summer blockbuster.
But they know none of them make a bunch of money.
This one can't open up with more than $4 or $5 million when it comes out, but yet the level of advertising has been fucking all over. I mean, seriously, I'm tired of seeing that trailer. Good movie or not, I'm fucking tired of it. I've been seeing that trailer for 6 months now. Every time I see it, I go, this thing hasn't come out already? Fuck. All right, I'm off my...
Sounds like you're waiting for it.
I'm off my... so I can stop seeing the trailer.
Is this out yet?
That should be coming straight to Netflix, it looks like.
Yeah. It might be.
Yeah, very soon. Let's do the Trailer Addicts.
Trailers can be wondrous things, giving us insight into the unseen movies of the future. But when they're bad, fire photon torpedoes. Shields up, red alert. Prepare for Trailer Addict.
Did you watch the trailer I added?
Yes, I just not listed on the actual page, but I will. Let's talk about that one first.
I put it on there. So.
The space between you and me.
Oh, the space between us.
Yeah, whatever.
I like your title better.
This is The Martian for teenagers, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's not really The Martian for teenagers. I mean, the kid is a Martian, but he doesn't get stuck there. Well, I guess he does,
he's just
but not because
and
he's
then
stuck
there for 16 years, right? And they won't let him leave.
Well, I don't know that they won't let him leave. I don't know. Maybe there's no way for him to leave.
Well, the kid's born in...
But he does finally come back to Earth. But yeah, you're right. This is a young adult story of people going off to Mars, and one of the women happens to be pregnant, and then she has a kid, and he's only been on Mars, grows up on Mars, and they keep it a secret, but somehow he's on social media. I don't, figure that one out.
Yeah, right.
And so eventually he comes back. I don't know why he comes back. I don't think they say in the trailer, but he comes back and experiences Earth through fresh eyes, and falls in love. Blah, 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 whatever,
The trailer started off very interesting with Gary Oldman narration and his character. And then as this thing went on, I got less and less interested in this.
Really? I think it looks pretty good. I would be watching it. I think it's interesting to see, the world through a different lens, and this kind of is trying to do that. But this looks like a higher tier young adult stuff. Could be absolutely terrible, because some of this stuff has, let's be honest, been really bad.
Well, like Another Earth and things like that are kind of reminded me of, and these quasi love stories mixed with sci-fi movies.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what this is, right? This doesn't really have so much to do with Mars, with the sci-fi side of things. This definitely has to do more with the human side.
Yeah, we're using science fiction as a background.
Yeah. So there is that, but
Rarely do those work for me, though. I like the Astronaut Farmer, which kind of did the same thing. But
that one does do that. I don't know. I mean, my only complaint is that why is this 3 minutes long, and why does it show you the entire movie?
That's what I'm saying. I was over this preview before.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
It's because Lionsgate has no tact when they come to marketing at all. They really had a rough time marketing stuff. Always have.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Yoga Hosers here. The Kevin Smith movie starring his daughter and the other girl. I was like, oh, that's a cute little girl. I didn't know it was Johnny Depp's daughter. I was like, oh my God, Johnny Depp's daughter is old enough to be in movies now and shit.
Yeah.
She's like 20 or roughly that age. I mean, good God.
I don't know. Are they 20? I don't think so.
What the fuck is this movie? Why does this movie exist?
Yeah, right? I mean, this is so fucking weird.
It's like Darby O'Gill and the Little People, but set in a fucking convenience store.
Yeah, I mean, this looks, honest to God, this looks like a recently released Charles Band Full Moon movie. It's so fucking, it's like a low budget oddball horror comedy. And it just looks weird. I mean, this is below Kevin Smith.
This
is way beneath him. Yeah, it's just I don't know. None of it looks funny. It just looks weird.
Even the Johnny Depp shtick isn't funny in this. You know, him hidden behind all that makeup doing a weird Willy Wonka type thing is not very funny.
Well, I also find it weird, you know, with the whole abuse thing. I feel weird, like, oh, wow. And then I see his daughter. It's like, oh, your dad's being accused of, like, beating people. That's nice.
It's just an accusation one way or another right now. We don't know for sure. But as a movie,
there's evidence, so I don't know. I would say it's just an accusation, but
as a movie, this thing looks very worthy of his time on all angles of everybody involved. And like, where is Clerks 3? Why are we getting this instead? Like, where's Hit Somebody? You know,
where's other stuff? Yeah, anything else?
and the title isn't even that amusing, you know. So we'll see. Sight unseen. But I didn't like Tusk. I know you didn't like Tusk, and really, hasn't made a movie I liked in a long time. I didn't really like Red State either. Did you?
No.
Yeah, so it's going back a while. I think Zack and Miri is the last movie he made that I liked, and that's got to be going on fucking almost 10 years now.
Well, once he left Hollywood, well, I mean Clerks 2.
Okay.
But yeah, once he left Hollywood, it's just, you know, and it's great that he's doing what he wants to do. You know, that's fine, but I mean, shit, that doesn't help me out, right? Help me out. Make me a Kevin Smith movie.
What is a monster truck? Is this a show? Because we were looking at this trailer,
right?
This Nickelodeon thing, and I'm thinking, is this a new Transformers?
Is this Nickelodeon?
Deal? I think this is a Nickelodeon thing. I've never heard of Monster Truck. Do you know of Monster Truck? Yeah, I've never heard of it. These people I'm with don't know of it. And Nickelodeon apparently is pushing this, and it looks like their version of Transformers, right? Like a very tween set for Transformers. But isn't that what Transformers is for? So I don't understand what the fuck this is or why it's being made.
Yeah, so this is for kids, right? This is like a Goosebumps meets Transformers type thing is what I kind of thought of
Yeah,
it as.
Very well done, yeah.
You know, very, I don't know, it feels like aimed at a younger age, yet somehow everyone in the movie is older, which, I mean, explain that to me. Like you say Transformers, I would think this is set up to be more for a Transformers crowd, but clearly they're somehow aiming for a younger audience. Am I wrong? It's weird. It's kind of a weird pairing. So I don't know. If I was a kid, I would probably want to see this, but I'm an adult and it looks stupid.
It's almost like when Need for Speed came out and it was like the low-rent version of Fast and Furious. Like it held you over until the next Fast and Furious movie came out. This looks like it's doing that until Transformers comes out.
Well, this won't hold me over.
No,
hell, Transformers won't hold me over. Are you kidding me? Good God.
I'm watching this and I was like, is this Star Kid 2? What is this?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Nickelodeon makes sense. But...
Well, they dropped this trailer. I mean, this comes out in January of next year, so this is like a Dead Zone type movie. They know that it's shit, but it came out with the trailer for Turtles 2. But let's talk about the trailer for Captain Fantastic. We missed this last week. We said we were going to talk about it. This is the Viggo Mortensen indie drama about a guy who loses his wife, has to come down out of the mountains where he's been raising his 7 children to attend her funeral. And from there on, it looks like it gets into over the top type dramatics, literally over the top with Sylvester Stallone, where the grandfather is telling, "You will not keep my boys," and he's like, he shoots a fucking bow and arrow at him at one point. I mean, I was with this trailer for a little bit until the grandfather shoots a fucking bow and arrow at him. He's like, "I'd have hit you if I wanted to." And I'm like, what kind of world are we living in? Where
they're attempting for drama there, right? That's what
what
I got from that.
Fuck was that? And I know these movies are so. I mean, this is to me like the definition of an indie darling. Some irresponsible asshole who's raising his kids in the fucking woods, but he's right because he's not doing it like societal.
No, he thinks he's right. I mean, the point I think is that the dad's very different than him, and the dad drove him to do this, right? And so they're two very different people. And or maybe it's not the dad. I don't know who the hell that is. It's probably his dad.
I thought it was her
Think
father,
it's her
his
dad?
father-in-law, yeah, something like that.
Where's his dad?
Exactly. That's why he's living out in the fucking woods.
Yeah, they're the two.
He's living in a van down by the river.
Like two totally opposite, right? Coming together. Yeah, he's in a van down by the river. 7 kids. He's very motivational.
Exactly.
I don't know. Yeah. Again, I mean, I thought this movie looked fine. You say it's an indie thing. It is. That's what it is. That's the best you can say. But why is the trailer so long? And why have I seen the whole movie after I seen the trailer?
I just think it's too precious for its own good, and it screams independent film. And look at me, and
yeah, but I agree. But that's what I think it was. I think it fulfilled everything it was trying to do.
But once again, a problem of a trailer
like
giving
that
away way
stuff,
too much.
You probably like this movie. Yeah, way too much.
Which is the case for our last trailer of the day, Marauders. The infant.
Is it? Did this give away too much? Well, it does give away a lot.
I mean, Bruce Willis now is really just doing second-rate shit like this.
Well, this is all his scenes in the movie are in this trailer, right?
When was the last time he was in a movie that was in a theater? Can you recall? Like Red 2, maybe? And that's like 3 or 4 years ago. So, excuse me. He is now officially a B movie actor,
Was
and
he
he's
in Expendables 3? No.
No, remember he was.
Yeah.
They got Harrison Ford. He wanted too
Yeah.
much money. Remember?
I don't know, buddy. Yeah.
So he is now.
Well, apparently,
shit himself.
not so much. He doesn't want so much money that he won't be in this.
Well, I'm sure they throw him
How's that
$3-4 million for 2 days' work, and he can come on set and just do what he probably directs himself. And I will say this: the movie actually looks like a real movie this time, and not some sort of convoluted madness.
It looks pretty convoluted madness to me.
Well, he's with some sort of like CEO that's robbing his own branches to get revenge for his dead son.
They don't really say that. They just kind of allude to the idea that he's somehow involved in these bank robberies and yet somehow the bank robbers are trying to give him away. It's fucking weird. This reminds me a lot of 999. In this, 999. In the sense that the trailer looks pretty cool, but I know this movie's gonna be a fucking mess.
Yeah, 100%. The last one he did, Extinction, was so. I mean, between that, The Cold Light of Day, Setup, there's like some of these ones he's doing are getting to be Seagal level quality where you can't even follow the story. And if I'm watching a B movie, I at least want to be able to follow the fucking story of what's going on here. It doesn't have to be rocket science. It's just a simple story done simply. You don't have to overcomplicate things. And this looks like it's really over the top with its styling visually. I mean, everything is matted. Where they live in Gotham, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, why are these bank robbers like dressed up like fucking crazy superhero villains?
Well, yeah, I mean, even the look of the city, it looked like Dark Knight to me. Like, all right, is this like Christopher Nolan want to be here or what?
Well, I mean, the town. To be fair, there've been a lot of movies that have done similar things.
But the town
they
is
have nothing to do
obviously where like the high bar sits with this, right? Like that's what it's reaching for. And
well, yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to pull off a couple of shots, like you say, and make it look like Gotham City, make it look bigger than it is, right? When I don't actually, we don't even know who else is in this movie really because, well, actually, that's not true.
We do. Christopher Maloney.
I know. I just
top
remembered.
star.
The fucking movie isn't even about the bank robberies and that. It's about the fucking cops trying to get the bank robberies.
Right, you got Adrian Grenier, who's like last build. I mean, when Adrian Grenier
Batista's
gets build under Batista, that's
in
bad.
This. I mean, this whole shit is like, there's just too much going on.
Yeah, I was a little confused, that trailer, but hey, at least it was entertaining. I watched it right after the Captain Fantastic one. I forgot this is a breath of fresh air.
Is it? I mean, there's guns in it. I think that's what did it.
It was rain and guns,
What's happening? They're shooting people.
It's clearly Seattle. I mean, look at how fucking rainy it is there in Toronto.
But you gotta love when they break in. They're like, "Don't be a hero. We're here for the banks,
It's the
money,
banks
not
money, not
yours." And they
yours.
start shooting people. You're like, "What?"
Can we retire? We're here for the bank's money, not yours line from any bank robbery scene from now on. I'm tired of that fucking
Who
line.
kills people like that? And then they gave the money to charity. It's like, the fuck are you, what's going on?
What are they, Point Breakers?
Yeah, but they don't give a shit about the people. They're willing to kill. I don't get it.
Exactly. They're Robin Hoods, but they're willing to kill. Cops don't matter,
They
right?
don't care. People, innocent people, whatever.
So Marauders is the name of that trailer. If you want to do yourself a favor, check out that one. Really a shitty
I
day
think
for
we sold
trailers
the hell
here.
out of it.
I did not like any of the trailers that we saw on today's show.
Yeah, I like Space Between Us.
And we are recommending, between the two of us,
That's
we are
it.
recommending, you're recommending Hail Caesar with a moderate recommendation. I recommend Jungle Book, and we both recommend Captain America Civil War.
Well,
So
yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah, right, yeah. Who hasn't said that?
Yeah.
Check back with us next episode. We'll be talking about the do-over, obviously, and we'll let you know if Robert Davi has gotten back to us on any of our topics pointed out.
So
on
if we
today's show.
survive.
Yeah, right? It might be a hit out on me. The
Yeah.
fucking Fratellis are after me, man. I'm telling you, this is scary shit. Mama Fratelli. We want to thank you all for joining us on episode 302. You can check any of our back catalog on iTunes, TalkShoe, Stitcher, or Moviemaverickс.com. Please check there for the latest reviews, also of Independence Day. Have one up soon for Civil War and Money Monster as well. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Speaking for Trevor, I'm Jason Rugard. We are the Movie Mavericks.
Oh my, another magnificent episode has come to an end. If you're craving more, set your destination to Moviemavericks.com, Warp 9. Engage!